As we have said about 100 times already, today's my birthday, and birthdays are a good time to take an account of one's life. You know, reviewing the past, the present, and the future. What has my life been like so far? What is my life like right now? What is my life going to be like tomorrow? Any of you ever do that on your birthday? Well, a good place to start reviewing a possible new way of living is to read at the very end of the Bible, the book of Revelation in the New Testament, chapter 21, verses 1 through 7. Jill already read verse 6, which is so powerful, isn't it? And the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. But I want to start with the first two verses. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Now, the writer of Revelation is speaking of a new heaven and earth for you and for me. Not literally a new heaven and a new earth, but a new heaven and a new earth within each one of us. New thoughts, new feelings, a new past. Breathe through that one. A new past and a new present. It's true, you know, the old life can pass away. There can be a new past and a new present and a new future. I know that there are people in this room, me included, who have things in their past that they wish they didn't remember, right? Things that are tugging at us, that are holding us back and making our lives less than happy at the present moment. Things that we wish had never happened, or that somehow we could once and for all erase, eliminate from our memory. I know there are others in this room, including me again. When we look at the future, it almost keeps us from wanting to get out of bed in the morning, because we know we have to get up to face whatever it is that we dread, that we despair, that we don't want to have to look at or to deal with. But the good news in this scripture is this promise of a new heaven and a new earth. We all can live happier and more peaceful lives. Lives in which we can have memories that don't hold us captive in the past, and a future to look forward with joy, optimism, enthusiasm, rather than that dread and despair. Sound good?
Yes.
Something you want to know how to do? But how do we do it? How do we create this new heaven and this new earth? Well, the primary key to that life lies within us. Exactly what Jill was saying in the meditation. You know, I've never met a person in all my 53 years here on this earth that I could not see God-given possibilities within. I don't care how much a person may consider himself or herself a failure. I truly believe that about every single person. Because each one of us can change the things that are wrong in our lives anytime that we are ready. Once we develop the desire to really change, we can remove from our lives once and for all the things that are defeating it. Our capacity for reformation and renewal is limitless, because this capacity for change comes from where?
Within.
From within, from the Creator. According to the writer of Revelation, this new heaven, this new earth comes down from heaven, which really means it comes from within. Because where exactly is heaven? What do we teach in unity? Jesus Christ said the kingdom of heaven is within you. consciousness in which God resides. It's not some faraway place up in the sky. And the New Jerusalem that the author is talking about in Revelation comes from this state of awareness. This knowing that heaven is within. It's a very special state of spiritual consciousness. And it has to be prepared for us just like a bride for her wedding day. Remember the scripture? You might have thought, what are they talking about, adorning the bride for her husband? Well, metaphysically, this means that our thoughts must be pure and committed to one idea, to one bridegroom. What do you think the bridegroom is? The Christ. Meaning Jesus? No. The Christ is that divine idea within you and within me. We must be committed to the divine presence within each one of us. In Revelation chapter 21, verse 3, it says, "And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, 'See, the home of God is among mortals. He will dwell with them as their God, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them.'" So folks, it's not about God coming to us. It's not about God somehow coming out of the heavens and coming into and changing our lives. It's about us aligning our hearts and our minds with God, with that Christ within, which is already there, which is already a part of us. It's about focusing on that true divine idea that the everlasting truth is that God is with us right now. And God is not only with us, but God is in every cell of our bodies, within every thought and feeling in our minds, within every fervent desire of our hearts. God is there in all of it. In God, we can choose to look for the gift in every event of the past. And we can choose to look for the positive potential in the future. We can take the seeming failures of the past and turn them into stepping stones of success in the present. And we can look to the future with a sense of hope and promise, knowing that life cannot bring anything to us that we can't transform into good. But like I said earlier, how do we really do this transformation? How do we manifest this new heaven and this new earth? How do we recognize that God is present in every aspect of our lives? That we're never, ever alone? Well, one way is through the wisdom of our elders. And that's what I want to share with you today. And one of my oldest and dearest friends, his name is Mel Polisher. He's an 85-year-old gentleman who lives in New Jersey, and he was part of my church at Unity Church by the shore, the first church I went to out of seminary. And he kind of adopted me when I was the minister there. I didn't know anyone in New Jersey, and he took me under his wing and would feed me meals every week and take me out to the theater and all sorts of wonderful things. So he was my adopted daddy in New Jersey. Well, several years ago, Mel was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And recently that cancer has progressed into bone cancer, and the prognosis is not really very encouraging. Yet Mel continues to have hope. And he continues to live his life encouraging and supporting other people. He's always sending me incredible messages of upliftment and hope and support and encouragement. And just this past week for my birthday, he sent me a very special one, written by a 90-year-old woman named Regina Brett. She wrote this as a column for a paper where she used to be an editor in Cleveland, Ohio. And it was just republished in celebration of her 90th birthday. And she wrote the column to celebrate growing older, and it includes a list of 45 lessons life has taught her. And I want to share these lessons with you today, because herein lies how we do it, folks. How do we manifest a new heaven and a new earth in our consciousness and in our life? So they begin, number one,